Coming up tonight on the news at 6, Helena Public Schools starts the search for a new superintendent. Plus, the latest on a COVID-19 outbreak at Carroll College and what steps are being taken to flatten the curve.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. All right, well, let's start this evening off right away with first weather with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Well, what a stormy day here, and get used to it, everybody, because there is more of this wet weather, white weather, and windy weather to come. McDonald Pass right now, you can see a little slushy accumulation, and the flakes are flying here. Road surface temperature is 40 degrees, the air temperature 30 degrees, and that surface temperature is dropping here, and might see a little accumulation tonight on the road surface. Also up there around Kings Hill Pass, Rogers Pass, Marias Pass, picking up some snow with a little mix of some rain and snow in the lower elevations. Technically, the only area still under a winter weather advisory, though, is right up over Kings Hill Pass, the higher elevations of the Little Belt Mountains. Of course, this also means that the Yogo Fire continues to pick up some snow. I've gone through a bunch of my song titles as far as wind goes. Elton John here today, Candle in the Wind. He didn't light one today. Prolonged period of wet and wintry weather, and I would say it's time to throw on those snow tires. Just tell them Curtis sent you. More on the full forecast coming up.
Well, new tonight at 6, the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office has a new second in command. Sheriff Leo Dutton named Captain Brent COLBERT as the county's new undersheriff. COLBERT started in that position today. He's replacing Jason Grimace, who retired last month. COLBERT began his career as a detention officer with the department in 1995. He became a deputy in 2003 and eventually rose to patrol captain. He served 2 years as the department's special operations captain, overseeing everything from the SWAT team and search and rescue to the coroner's division. COLBERT said he's honored to take on the undersheriff job.
I knew I could do a good job and work in partnership with the sheriff. The old undersheriff, Jason Grimace, and I were friends. We started almost about the same time in the jail, and I know there'll be big shoes to fill, but I will do my best.
Dutton said he had multiple well-qualified candidates to choose from, and he said COLBERT's experience in all areas of the sheriff's office made him a good fit for the job. And the Helena School Board has officially started the search for a new superintendent. Superintendent Tyler Ream plans to step down next summer after his 3rd year in the position. Trustees have brought in a national firm to assist with the search, the same one that helped the district when Ream was hired. Leaders will start working on a profile for what they want from a new superintendent. They plan to involve students, parents, staff members, and others in that process. School Board Chair Luke MUSZKIEWICZ said they are keeping an open mind about what the profile will look like.
That's why this process is so important on the front end, is to engage with our community, our staff, and our students to see, have our needs changed? Have they stayed the same? So the leadership profile that comes out of that could be similar, it could be different.
District leaders plan to have the profile completed by mid-November, and they will open the position for applicants soon after that. They hope to select a new superintendent by March. Well, the state saw another large increase in new COVID-19 cases today, with 668 new cases reported. Lewis and Clark County announced another COVID-19 related death, bringing the county total to 4 deaths. Now, statewide, 12 deaths today alone brings Montana to 242 COVID-19 related deaths. Total cases in the state are nearing 21,000. Active cases top 7,300 today. Nearly 300 people are currently hospitalized with the virus. And the Blackfeet Reservation will be under a stay-at-home order until at least late this month. A 2-week stay-at-home order was instated on September 28th to slow the spread of COVID-19 on the reservation, and it was set to expire yesterday, but the Blackfeet Tribal Business Council extended it through October 25th. Residents could be fined if they don't follow the order. A spokesperson for the reservation says while the order is working well, it has not been easy for everyone to adjust.
Our people are always out, spending time with families. We're very big on with our extended family, and so this has been really difficult for us to learn how to switch over to staying home.
36 new COVID-19 cases were reported on the Blackfeet Reservation today, pushing active cases on the reservation to 299. And in Helena, Carroll College is also taking steps to curb COVID-19 cases after an outbreak was reported this weekend. MTN's John Riley spoke with the administration about what actions are being taken.
6 new COVID cases involving Carroll College students were reported over the weekend. The students are believed to have contracted the virus off campus. Carroll has begun to impose restrictions on campus to prevent any additional spread.
We've seen other campuses that had much larger outbreaks be able to successfully bend the curve back down. This is very different from the spring because we know essentially what works.
Initial measures include increased COVID testing for students and faculty. The college performed asymptomatic testing of around 500 students on Monday and Tuesday. Test results have already begun to come back with additional positive cases. The school is waiting to give a full update until all results of the testing have come back and students have been notified. Some cases have been associated with Carroll athletics, but the college says that's to be expected given around a third of their students participate in athletics. The athletics center has been temporarily closed and practices and workouts have been suspended just to be safe.
Any place where students get together in close proximity and there's a lot of contact, we just want to make sure, because we are seeing an increase in cases, that we're being really cautious in what that looks like, and so that's one of the decisions that we did make. But again, as these cases really come in on Monday and Tuesday, we'll be able to see where we're actually at in the situation and what additional measures we need to put in place.
Carroll administration says the next 14 days will be critical in flattening the curve. They're stressing with students the importance of following COVID guidelines and avoiding places where they might be more at risk to get the disease. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
These new COVID-19 cases are the first reported of Carroll College students contracting the virus while at school this fall. All previous cases were associated with students coming in at the beginning of the semester. Affected students will quarantine and learn remotely until they are cleared to return to class. And still ahead on the news at 6, state religious leaders take a stance on 2 ballot initiatives.
Hannah's News Leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. Montanans are busy filling out and returning their ballots for the general election. Among the issues on the ballot, the legalization of recreational marijuana. There are 2 initiatives on the subject, and as MTN's Tim McGonigal reports, both are getting a thumbs down from some prominent religious leaders.
In a unified statement earlier this week, Montana's Roman Catholic bishops announced their opposition to 2 ballot initiatives that, if passed, would legalize recreational marijuana in Montana.
We have concern with an increased use by teenagers who would have more ready access to it. And we already live in a society that is steeped in addiction. I just cite the opioid situation.
Initiative 190 would set up the framework for a recreational marijuana system in Montana, including a 20% tax on sales. CI 118 would amend the Montana Constitution to let the state prohibit marijuana sales to people under the age of 21. While marijuana legalization has enhanced revenues in other states, Bishop Warfel believes passage would come with a cost.
We cite the example in Colorado where they have had it, and there's all kinds of situations of increased accidents, traffic situations. I have a couple of good friends who are sheriffs in Denver, and they've related to me some of the problems they've had there because of it.
Proponents of the measures point to increased access to medical marijuana for veterans, up to $236 million in new tax revenues over the next 6 years, and less law enforcement resources needed for arrests for marijuana possession. In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
You can see the whole letter from Montana's Catholic bishops on our website, ktvh.com. And if you want more information on candidates, issues, and voter resources, also head over to ktvh.com/MTN elections. There you can find links to 8 different debates with candidates for federal and statewide offices, important dates to remember leading up to the election, and MTN coverage on ballot issues and political spending. That address again is ktvh.com/MTN elections. All right, now let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz for what's coming up in weather.
Well, more snow is coming up a little bit tonight and tomorrow, but check out this weekend. The biggest snow event likely since the spring. More in the forecast coming up next.
Weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenens.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Looks like the skies are at least clear from this vantage point right now in Helena, but partly cloudy and mostly cloudy today with mixed rain and snow. And of course, what wicked wind out there. Some tree damage has been reported around town. Wind gusts still up to 30 miles per hour. It's not 50, 60 miles per hour like we saw earlier today. McDonald Pass had a few gusts up to 63 miles per hour. Great Falls pretty seen here with some clouds hugging the Highwood Mountains, 42, and a light north wind of 5 miles per hour. That's nice. 30s and 40s for the most part, and up in the mountains, 20s and 30s currently. The wind easing up somewhat. The worst of the wind is over with here, but the wind should continue for some parts of the state here tonight into tomorrow. We're not going to go calm anytime soon. There you can see still some of the technically active fires here, but more snow up on the Yogo fire. Fires like the Drumming fire, southwest of Hart Butte, the Garnett fire, the State Creek fire, even down there around the Bridger Foothills fire. They're pretty much out. And if they're not out now, they will be come this weekend. You can still see some of the snow showers up there into the Scapegoat and the Bob Marshall Wilderness, Sealy Swan, a mix of some rain and snow. A little more activity west of the divide. Still a few rain showers up here, Fort Benton and Big Sandy, Chester, around Havre. A little mix of rain and snow earlier. We've got a snow shower pushing into the Geyser area and over those little belts that I mentioned just before. This storm system, though, actually, there was a fatality reported in western Washington because of wind knocking down a tree onto somebody here. And the initial low pressures zipping across the northern part of the country already into the Great Lakes. Here's what will happen the rest of this evening. Still a couple of mixed rain and snow showers. Temperatures are dropping, so the snow levels will be dropping as well. More snow than rain and snow, but where you see these bands setting up, there could be some heavier, brief accumulations here of maybe 1-2 inches into the lower elevations. Still a couple of mixed rain and snow showers tonight into tomorrow morning. And the trend for Thursday will be a little more sunshine, and the mixed rain and snow showers will be moving out as we go through the day, and still a fair amount of wind coming through the state here. Thursday night, briefly quiet before the big weekend storm is already on us here, really on Friday. A little mix of rain and snow out the High Line, some rain showers north central Montana. It's Friday night that a strong cold front will come through the state, changing most of the rain over to snow. There's the accumulation through tonight into tomorrow. Here's what will happen this weekend, though. Front going through Friday night into Saturday. Saturday, look at the snow continuing for parts of the state, but a boundary will waver back and forth, which means the rain and snow line could waver back and forth. Sunday, maybe another round of snow coming through here into Monday. That's what I mean. This is a prolonged period of stormy weather. Here's the forecast for tonight. Just about everybody getting down close to the freezing point, if not below the freezing point. So could be a little slick out there, but most of the roadways here are dry, but cold enough temperatures over the Continental Divide for maybe some snow to stick on the mountain passes, the road surfaces that is. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. Chilly, 40s and 50s, some mixed rain and snow showers, certainly some windy conditions again. But the snow, the rain won't really amount to much. Friday, even not much going on. A little mix of rain and snow across the northern tier, 40s and 50s, even a few 60s out there. But watch what happens here Friday night into Saturday morning. Widespread snow likely, especially along and east of the Continental Divide. Now the precipitation diminishes a little bit later Saturday, but this front stalls out, and that will be the focal point for precipitation on Sunday, possibly into Monday as well. Highs in the 20s and 30s here on Sunday. A little warmer west of the Continental Divide. Here's the 7-day forecast for Helena. This is a stormy pattern for sure, developing Friday night, continuing through Saturday, Sunday, and possibly into Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures up above the freezing point for highs. Could be a sloppy snow or a mix of rain and snow at times. For Great Falls, a little colder the farther north you go in the state here this weekend, so maybe more accumulation across north central Montana and the Rocky Mountain front, but get ready for some winter-like precipitation.
Coming up on the news at 6, a Helena artist rebounds after the pandemic cost her her job. Now she's turned a lifelong passion into her full-time job.
News leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. After being furloughed from work due to COVID-19, a Helena artist has taken her passion for painting and turned it into a full-time job to support her family. MTN's Jessica Nelson has this rebound report.
This we're all a little isolated, and that's kind of how I've been with doing this and raising my kids. So I've kind of always always had a little level of that, and that's kind of how Van Gogh felt. I mean, he was very lonely in isolation.
Jessie Wise grew up in Helena and began painting when she was a young teen. She used painting as an avenue to handle stress in her life, and she found inspiration in Vincent van Gogh.
More in my adult life, I would say. He's become more relevant, and I've related to him on a lot of levels. And it's just such a sad story, but you know, it's history, and it's beautiful that everyone can come together recognizing this image, people who don't know, you know, and it's exciting because that's what he would have wanted.
When the coronavirus pandemic hit, Jessie was furloughed from her job. She went through a difficult divorce, and despite her family asking her to leave her art behind, she pressed on.
These helped me get through that big time. You know, I've never left my town, so it's a blessing and a curse sometimes, but it's home and I don't ever want to leave. So this was my way of just paying homage to that. And I didn't know if anyone would ever want to see them or anything like that.
But people not only wanted to see her renditions of Starry Night, now her paintings are in such high demand, she paints full-time and even has a waiting list of customers wanting to own her paintings.
People just started eating them up, and they're like, I want a copy of that. I'm like, sweet. So I started ordering prints, and it just kind of snowballed from there. Each painting that I release, like the cathedral, it's just been huge.
Jessie has sold more than 100 copies of her Helena renditions of Starry Night. She plans on having 12 total paintings in the series, but each painting takes several months to complete.
Well, these first 3 took me over a year combined, so they take a few months minimum each.
Her 5th piece in the series is The Sleeping Giant, and she's still adding the final touches to that painting. Jessie still can't believe how far her art has taken her, and she's sure Vincent would be proud.
This is just opened so many doors. I've met so many new people and heard so many stories, and I just think that he would love what's come out of this.
In Helena, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.
Jessie has recently been hired by the Civic Center to design pieces of art for their green room renovation. And to see more of Jessie's art, check out this story on our website, ktvh.com. And when we come back, we'll wrap things up.
Anna's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Back to the news at 6. Today is not just any Wednesday, it's National Dessert Day, and there are plenty of ways to indulge. Cookies, ice cream, cake, pie, candy. There are a whole lot of options, and more now than ever before. That's because desserts have changed over time. Sweet treats were originally natural candies and nuts, but they have evolved into complex soufflés and multi-layer cakes. So, carpe diem, or seize the day and seize something sweet.
Like warm apple pie, too. That would be good. Here's a look at Great Falls 7-day forecast. A couple of mixed rain and snow showers around tomorrow, but it's this weekend where rain will increase and then snow Friday night into Saturday. And look at Saturday and Sunday. Colder and snowy both days, with some snow going into Monday and Tuesday as well. And for the capital area, a couple of snow showers around tonight, tomorrow morning. Friday night, rain will develop, going over to snow by Saturday morning, and sloppy weather Sunday into Monday as well.
All right, that does it for the news at 6. We'll see you back here at 10.